Tradium, as always, appreciate your work recording these, summarizing and posting them online for everyone else to listen to at their convenience. So thank you. If anyone has any questions during the conversation, go ahead and drop them in the C.o.R.E channel. We'll come back to them at the end. And same thing for the Concave squad. If there's any interesting collateral or links or anything you'd like the community to take a look at, just go ahead and drop it in the C.o.R.E channel, and they can follow that as we continue talking. And with that, let's kick things off. So, gentlemen, thank you here for joining us today. This is our final core spotlight conversation, wrapping up 2 full weeks of talking to various protocols that are participating in our 3rd core event. Today, we have Concave. We are joined by C.o.R.E. Is it Akarin or Akarin? I'm going to come back to that. And then O.M.R Simpson.
People end up calling me Akarin, so just call me Akarin.
Okay. Yeah, it's like I always read these names, but I never say them. So then I come to say them, and it's just like, oh, I want to make sure I get this right. But
yeah, how do you say a 70 K3 mech?
We call him Tokemak.
Oh.
But I want to dox him every time I read his name, so it's a struggle to call him the right thing.
Yeah.
So cool. Gentlemen, welcome. Glad to have you here today.
Yes, thank you.
Could you give us, I'll start with C.o.R.E and then move over, just some brief background on yourselves and what you're doing for Concave?
Yeah, so I found my way in, like the second week it was, the server came live, just any other community member, whitelist hunting, just trying to be early, right? I got told this is the next big thing, and I immediately took upon myself to find out everything I could. And when I found myself in Concave, it was such a fun, crazy, chaotic time. Like, I can only describe it as the equivalent of Burning Man. Just this pivotal moment in cultural history where you've got people coming together to create, to share, to philosophize, and share their art. And just, it was crazy. And I found myself in the policy team creating policy documents, editing documents like I'm back in college. Now, I graduated in college like over 10 years ago, right? I haven't written documents like that in forever. And here I was doing it for fun, and quickly just kept making friends and forming partnerships. And now I'm officially team lead in partnerships, and continuing to just build connections and establish relations. And that's why we're here, because Tokemak, you guys are an official partner to Concave. We didn't have an opportunity to announce it during our launch week, April 1st. And so, we're now here to do that and extend the olive branch to the rest of the Tokemak community. Yeah, and that's how I got myself here.
Awesome. That's great. Karan, what about you?
Yep. So similar to C.o.R.E, we sort of came up from the community at the beginning of the server, and as you said, it was a very chaotic time. It was very interesting, and yeah. So I started out writing like newsletters for Concave, and then I ended up in community, and then through all sorts of fate and chance, I ended up in partnerships as a partnerships lead as well. So I'm basically leading that along with C.o.R.E, and yeah. Here we are. Thank you.
Love it. O.M.R Simpson. O.M.R, you there? You might be on mute.
O.M.R.
All right, we might have lost him. So if you come back, we'd love to hear what...
I'll give a brief intro for him. I
Please do.
have a feeling a lot of you guys actually know and recognize O.M.R. I knew him from my early Olympus days back in the last summer. And every project I went to that I loved, I would see him very active in the community, very passionate. And he officially joined us this week as a partnership addition. And it just makes sense. He's built up so many great partnerships already within our partner channels. I know you guys here know him. It looks like he's back. I'll give him a chance to talk for himself if he can. But yeah, he's officially on our team now, and I couldn't be happier to call O.M.R Simpson a colleague.
Yeah, he's a great person, great talent, has a lot of wisdom. I just met him recently, but he's been very kind, and we're glad to have him aboard.
Cool. Omer, is your audio working? Still nothing. We can read your words aloud if you post in Core 3. We'll just translate for you a little bit.
Yep.
So cool. Thanks for the background on you guys. For our community, can you give us an understanding, like an intro to Concave? What are you guys? What do you do? Why do you?
Okay. I'll start with that. We exist for community. A lot of people may not understand that we completely revolve around our community. Our team is formed by the community. The products we build is for the community. The ideas that we build come from the community. And our future is heavily dependent on that community. And when I say community, I'm not just talking about people in our Discord. It includes everybody who interacts with us. Anybody, it could include from Tokemak, for instance, our friends in Olympus, Redacted, Premia, anywhere you go, if you're holding Concave, if you are interacting with anything that we end up shipping, you're a part of our community. And that's what we want to focus on. Our first product is coming online soon, the bonding and staking that we've been developing for quite a while now. We launched our token right in April 1st. It's been just a little bit over a month. We're actually in alpha testing for bonding and staking. And for a lot of people who know of Concave, we've always talked about how we're a spoon of Olympus forks. We want to drive value back to Ohm and the ecosystem. And this is still very true. However, I think everyone's aware of the changes that have occurred to the narratives around rebase tokens. There's been a lot of issues with the way bonding has been currently implemented, but it's still a fantastic product. Bonds have been utilized by financial institutions for hundreds of years, very successfully, and they barely found themselves into DeFi, just over a year ago. And there's clearly a lot of room for improvement. And this is where we are focusing on all of our development talents and resources, is launching bonding for users that protects your investment, will sustainably grow and reward you over time. And you don't have to worry about your position losing value due to things like dilution over time that has occurred with all these other protocols.
Yeah, so there's a few things here. So for Concave, we are a builders cooperative. So we basically invite the community to build along with us, and so we have some initiatives to help with that. At its core, basically we have two parts. We have our product side, and then we have our investment side. But at its core, it's basically sort of like a decentralized hedge fund as well as a product organization. And so the first thing that we're looking to do is basically offer our basically release our MVP, which is our liquid staking and our bonding. So that should be coming pretty soon. We're doing internal testing right now, and then after that, we're looking to basically iterate on improvements that we can see within other protocols, and then also focus on building up our treasury as we go along and returning that value back to our stakers.
Got it. So if someone out there is thinking you guys are an Ohm fork, is that accurate? Are you an Ohm fork with just some UI changes? Are you completely different code base? Like how would you respond to that question?
So no, we're not an Ohm fork, and honestly, we've changed so much at this point. We're not even close to an Ohm fork. Our code is for the most part completely made from scratch, and our staking model is completely different. We're using a V-basing model that is also built from scratch. And so, we're honestly nowhere near an Ohm fork at this point. We are our own organization and structure.
Got it. And you mentioned you are a decentralized hedge fund. Can you speak a little bit more about what that means? I believe you guys have done some seed investments, so I'm curious to hear more about that.
Yeah, Decentralized hedge fund is a good way to describe the fact that we have a wide range of products in development to cover every type of investment strategy. The goal is to utilize our treasury to create revenue, of course. That revenue is going to be the primary source of earning an income for liquid staked C&V holders. And so we want to feed all this revenue to anyone holding Concave tokens. And a hedge fund is a great way to describe it without getting like heavily into the weeds of what does that mean. If you know what a hedge fund is in traditional finance, and you can basically correlate us as something similar. And we're decentralized in the fact that, at the end of the day, we're all still, pseudo-anonymous to each other even. But we're also building this with anybody who joins our community and participates. We've actually started. It was soft launched. We call it PIPO. It's an incentive structure for tipping and earning. They're spoons. It's basically a social token within our community, and we're going to extend it across platforms as we develop. It's just the point is we want to be able to take ideas from the community and incentivize it and reward it in a permissionless style where people can propose ideas. This is where
Yeah, going back to the hedge fund part, like think about it this way. So, as like an investor in DeFi, for example, like there's many users who aren't able to access certain projects at a low price, right? Like for example, like seed rounds, pre-seed projects, and so on the hedge fund side, investing in Concave is essentially a way to be able for anyone to be able to gain access to strong foundational protocols that are before launch, that are just launching their seed, and just like early stage products in general. Like we aren't just like investing in specifically DeFi projects. There's like a lot of projects that we're working with now due to sensitive information, because a lot of these projects haven't released. Some of them haven't finished their seed round, or some of them haven't like released public information about it yet. We aren't able to disclose the specific projects that we're investing in yet. We're hoping to do that really soon and co-market these projects.
Got it. Are any public at this time?
No, basically, there's a few that will come out, I think,
very soon.
Pretty soon. We're basically just co-marketing, like basically just planning out the co-marketing campaign with them, and yeah, we're gonna have like AMAs, cool events. Yeah, so look
Awesome.
forward to it.
Definitely looking forward to that. And then can you speak a little bit to how you get access to these deals? Everyone obviously has been super interested in trying to find like the next hot thing, and obviously they want in as a seed investor. But how do you source these deals? How would someone participating in Concave know that you have access to like the best founders or the best protocols? I'm just curious if you can share your thoughts on that.
Great. Yeah. So for Concave, if you don't know, the founders of Concave was basically TNA Capital, which was basically, I guess, like a meme fund. Like basically like a small group of people that slowly group over time. And so people like J-Man, people like Epic, people like Folk are just very well connected in general. And also, apart from that, a lot of our community members from the beginning, it turns out that they were also very well connected. Like a lot of our team members that came from the community, like some of them are like do VCs, some of them are part of VCs, some of them run these organizations. And so so basically we get like opportunities from a lot of people. And also also as an organization, like we have good connections with other protocols, specifically with Olympus. Like a lot of our founders are well connected with Olympus, and so we know a lot of people in the space. And since we are able to pool these funds, we're able to find opportunities that the common investor may not find.
Yeah, I think part of the magic of Concave from the beginning is just it's this combination of individuals with unique talents and connections that they've brought from their years of experience it's all just come together to create what is Concave now. Like, we have a back-end infrastructure that is set for serious scaling, and we're working and developing on a level that I can only compare to multi-billion-dollar corporations. We're using the same software infrastructures to run and develop our organization. We're not a slapdash group of individuals just making stuff up. But at the same time, right, it always comes down to the people in the community. This is why, if anyone asks me what is our biggest USP, it's the people, it's the community. Like, TNA Capital is community. They were original OMI community members who built up their connections, met success, and they worked on other projects, met other people from other successful projects, and then it's enabled us to make the decisions that we've been able to make. And going forward, it's going to continue to come from people that join us through these previous connections or the new ones that we make as our products get rolled out and new people roll in. We're always reaching to educate new users and reach new users and onboard new DeFi users. And that's where all the connections are going to come. It's not going to necessarily come from me. It's going to come from someone I meet, and they just they see the energy and excitement. They want to work and they want to earn with us. And it's as simple as that.
Got it. Yeah. Before you guys launched, I know there was plenty of hype on Twitter and lots of mystery and intrigue. People were trying to figure out what you were up to. We were trying to figure out what you were up to because you posted that really interesting image with a bunch of protocols and like Tokemak under a little campfire in a cave, if I recall correctly. So I think I even DM'd the Twitter account trying to figure out how we were going to play into it and set up a conversation. So I also was curious what you guys were up to. So now that you guys have launched, you've been out for just over a month, and you're in the process of launching staking and bonding. Do you think that your staking and bonding products are really going to silence the haters? Sounds a little strong, but just sort
100%.
of counter the narrative that some people have just believed that you're only hot air. I'm curious which products you're most excited for that you're going to be in a position to let the results speak for themselves.
As far as products that speak for themselves, yes, the staking and bonding will. But the staking and bonding is it's the backbone to what we really have in store. And I could go off for forever talking about our future plans, but it'll become a long ramble. And I don't want to lose anybody on that yet, because ultimately what I don't like, or what I see a lot of people do, is make promises and then never deliver. And so we want to focus on one thing at a time, and then we're going to iterate upon that, and we want to iterate quickly. And so we're going to have our bonding and staking go live. It's liquid staking. It's going to be an AMM. Liquid staking means you can lock your Concave for up to a year. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, what happens if I need to cash out? Well, we're going to have an NFT marketplace that allows you to buy and trade your position. So if you need liquidity, it will always be available. If not, you can just sit and chill, and we will pay out dividends quarterly from revenues from our treasury management.
And non-native assets, by the way.
Literally don't have to do anything to collect it. It will be airdropped. It will not be in CNV tokens. It will be in other tokens like DAI, ETH, etc. Whatever the policy team decides to reward, given that month's or that quarter's I'm losing words here, but you get what I'm getting at with the dividends. That to me is the most exciting part of the whole thing. The bonding and staking just sets up for it, and the real exciting stuff is coming.
We basically, on our treasury side, like, we believe like active treasury management is very important, because at the end of the day, crypto, DeFi, like, these are very volatile markets, and so you need to have personally speaking, like on our side, like, we need to have a skilled policy team, which we do have very skilled people who basically, go ahead and say, okay, in terms of like volatile conditions, say like it's a bear market, for example. Well, how do we keep the treasury safe? We basically refer to risk off strategies like stable farming, etc. And then at times we're able to go risk on. We basically go more risk on and find other strategies that we can work with. So we believe that active treasury management is important, and that this is what will keep the funds safe from market conditions.
Got it. So yeah, exciting things to come in the next few weeks, it sounds like, with a couple announcements for seed investments in addition to staking and bonding. Sounds like you guys have a bright couple weeks ahead of you.
Thank you, sir. You guys too.
Yeah.
Indeed, we have plenty. And today at 2:30, we'll be digging into that with Liquidity Wizard addressing our community. So come on by if you're free and hear what we're up to. Got a few more questions, but I'm going to pass it over to Tokemak if you happen to have any that you're chewing on over there.
No, just like, I think just in general, this was a great overview. I was just would be interested, like how you're like specifically thinking about like liquidity and like trading liquidity for your token, and then how that relates to Tokemak and a potential reactor.
Yeah, so in terms of like C.o.R.E, unfortunately, like it's not possible for us to get a reactor because we didn't have liquidity in Uniswap. Like we have our own AMM.
Yeah.
But in general, like we're really bullish on Tokemak because, liquidity will always be important in the space, and we believe that Tokemak has the efficiency, it has the team, and it has like a pretty solid idea on how to go about like providing liquidity to others. And the most bullish is, I think, like once you guys get your permissionless reactors going, I think that's when things will really start taking off, and we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and Omer Simpson also touched on it in the chat as well. I think those are both very good answers. It comes down to a technical timing issue mostly, because we are a young protocol. We've only been out for a month, and we are starting with a kind of a unique situation where we are bringing our own AMM online. So we have our liquidity, it's all there. And for us to fully support having that C.o.R.E reactor, we have to fork that liquidity, which right before bonding and staking or at the same time sounds like a kind of a bad plan.
Yep.
But we're here because, as I'd said initially, we are officially partners with Tokemak, and we want to support not only what you guys are doing, but we want to also be a part of it. And so if we were to theoretically win this C.o.R.E vote, I expect that it would put light a fire under our engineers and policy teams' butts to like make a reactor come online sooner rather than later. But I can assure you guys that the long run plan is, no matter what happens, we're still going to gun for a reactor, and it will come online as soon as it's possible and makes sense. In the meantime, we're here to support not just you guys, but our other partners who are also in the running, Premia and Redacted. I know I've sent my bribes over to Redacted. I love those guys.
Oh man!
And yeah, I'm here for the process. I'm here for the journey.
Awesome. Yeah, I love to have you on board.
I traded a message with Evoke a while back, and he had some interest in accepting T assets once your bonding program goes live. Do you have a sense for which assets will be accepted first, and when T assets might be a part of that plan?
Yeah, so that's the part that's our next discussion. It's which one makes sense. Well, this is why if I announce something now and things could easily change in the markets due to timing, right? Even just as short as a month. So it could be literally any asset. We would support the ones that make the most sense. And for bonding and staking, we're only supporting with Concave and CNV and DAI just at the beginning, right? Because it's all new. We want to make sure that it works as intended, that it's error-free, bug-free, that we don't risk anyone's assets unnecessarily, right? We're going to take on all that risk. And as soon as that passes muster to our team internally, we're going to start pairing with our partner assets. And, which ones do we do first? I'd love to have that conversation as early as tomorrow. Let's just make it happen.
Yeah, like once we get like the whole MVP rolled out, we're definitely looking to explore, adding more assets to our AMM, adding things like T assets, implementing it into our protocol. I think that could be like a really good avenue for like potential conversations in the future.
Same. I totally agree. Looking forward to having that one with you guys. One question here from the community from Crocodile Playing Piano. They're asking about how you create a genuine community. I'm wondering if you can
I
speak
love this
to.
question.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I
man.
figured that would be right up your alley.
I touched on this. I hinted earlier a little bit, and I hate talking too much about it because, again, I want to prove things before we jump to the next. But at the same time, you have to get philosophical, right? You need to see the vision. You need to believe, and ultimately, you need to believe in yourself. And so we have soft launched this system called Peepo, and it exists purely as a bot on our Discord right now. But it enables us to tip each other, and not just me, the team lead, tipping a community member. It allows the community to tip community. And the power in this is it empowers individuals to take on ownership of what they're doing. We have people creating value every day in our communities by just being there, being present, by chatting when there's FUD, and you respond in a positive way, with reason and thinking, and in a way that deflates the argument or makes people understand stuff. That's something valuable. And what we want to do is allow people to show your appreciation by giving each other spoons. And these spoons are going to be tracked on a leaderboard. Very meta, but it's over time, it's going to become very, very granular. We have our different departments such as marketing, where we have daily tasks, we have weekly tasks, and we'll eventually be paying out salaries. We've got bonuses, and we're going to keep handing out these spoons. And as you gain spoons, you're going to gain status, and you're going to gain notoriety in the community through your contributions. And over time, it's going to become like your trust score. And when we're looking for someone who, say, we need to get a meme done, and we see you've got a high score in spoons, and it's from your meme work, then we know you're the guy to hire. And it's not just that. You can apply this to literally anything. And so we want to create a level of engagement where the users are empowered to tip and show everyone else the value of the work that they're doing. And in doing so, build up your social profile and social status that can be shared everywhere. And
Where's my money,
the next step is to financialize that, is to add a layer where you can actually make money. Much like the artist on the side of the street who's got his hat out and he's just playing beautiful music for you on multiple instruments. Maybe he's got a partner doing a dance. Like, I've seen some of the most amazing performances by people putting their heart and soul into their performances on the streets, collecting tips, and then they turn that into a living. And we want to do this in a way that creates a permanent, sticky place for people to hang around, because they know if they spend their time there, they're going to be rewarded for it. And if they're a toxic individual, they'll also quickly be weeded out by that same system. And I don't have to do anything. I don't have to call anyone out. I don't have to ban anyone. People can just not tip them. They can be sent to the troll pit, where it'll cost you a substantial amount of your social rank to get out. And that's, to me, what it's about, is empowering people to treat other people in just meaningful ways. And this is the long-term plan of what we're doing in Concave. I do want to tie this into our core features. And it's like, you can imagine, if you've done a lot of work for us, you've got you've collected so many spoons, why cannot that be a discount on your bonding rate, right? Or grant you access to some special content that we've just created for VIP. There's so much that you can do. Like, it's literally endless ideas. And all these ideas I hope to source from the community over time and implement them as soon as possible.
Yeah, but still,
it's just exciting. I could talk forever about this. I'm going to let Akron cut me off.
Yeah, it's early stages, but like we are very ambitious. We are very bullish on this.
Very
Our
ambitious.
guy Andy has spent like months building out like the Discord, the bot to do
Yeah,
this.
it's custom, completely custom.
And yeah, we're still early, but eventually we would like to create like a small organization, where people can basically receive monetary rewards just from like participating in however they can in the protocol.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the TLDR of it.
Gotcha. As a quick follow up, has there been any techniques for community building that you've like really caught your eye from other communities that you brought into Concave?
You mean like tactics and stuff like that, or
Yeah, anything that like you really appreciate what they're doing and you made a very intentional point to replicate for Concave because you thought it was so great.
Well, originally we started with like the whole psyop stuff, but I think what you guys are doing at Tokemak, specifically regarding how much of focus you guys put on education and informing the community, that those are definitely like,
Education.
things that we've learned from and gleaned from since we've moved away from all the psyops. We're looking to be more transparent. We're looking to basically
Education
offer
comes
more.
first.
Looking to offer more education on the protocol, and also just just more like information, like more updates. And I think Tokemak does that very well. So we're definitely like learning a lot from that.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Yeah, Paul's done a really good job creating a strong brand, and the Leaky Reactor is a fun way to share updates on Sundays and get people looking forward to when we share those updates. So we've done a couple things really well over here.
Also, a personal favorite, Tokemak Radio. I'm like, damn, you guys, that's so cool. We need a Concave radio.
New playlist is fire. It's never something I would have like listened to on my own, but I had it going. I was like, this is actually high quality.
Right? No, I love your community. Like I am a toke holder, proud
Same.
toke holder, not looking to sell.
Never.
I know that Toke will make it. I firmly believe it. I might be wrong.
And we're going to make it because of our communities. This is the same. This is the whole point, right? It's the strong communities that tie us together, and we do this together. And if we can continue to support this in meaningful ways, and we survive together, then we're golden. And you've hit it. I mean, we're copying you guys because you're partners, and you're doing it right.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate the kind words there. So to wrap things up today, can you give us a picture of what the most successful version of Concave looks like and what it will take for you to get there?
Ooh, that's a very ambitious one. Chrome, you want to start with that?
It's going to take scale, 100%. And what's going to take implementing these systems that at first seem basic and seem completely disconnected and don't make any sense, but at the end, they fit together like a puzzle. Just completing the picture that we have all been working on. DeFi is very close to revolutionizing the world of finance just completely. We've got governments trying to pile in as we speak and loading up, getting ready to buy the massive dip that we all know is coming. And it's still missing components, right? And the biggest one, Web3, 100% is missing that interactive and engaged layer. And I think that's why we have a big push for gamification, all play to earn, is because it's an easy cop for engagement, but it's not the thing that's going to make us last. It's just one piece, right? Mm-hmm. So at the scale, with the number of users, with enough people utilizing our protocols together, and just allowing seamless movement of funds and your profile and your history together is really I think the key that's going to bring it together. And we're still 1 to 2 years off at a bare minimum. But how can we get there quickly? I think Akron may know.
Yeah, so on terms of like the scalability, one reason I was so like excited about Concave and just pretty impressed with what I saw is that we have like a fully scalable organization. Like, don't get me wrong, like we've had like growing pains as we went along, communication issues, but I think that we're following like basically like we're fully following like the agile framework, and we have like specific Scrum lords that help us like work through agile and all that. But like we really think that like this structure is like really awesome because it allows for like really strong scaling between organizations, and then like the extension of that is essentially people. We're looking to have like a top-down structure where everyone can contribute and everyone can move up, and then we can have things like epic refinement sessions, PI planning, and then just like work through like each step of the protocol to make sure that everything is safe and everything is good for launch. So that is one thing that I'm pretty bullish on, and I think that's what will help us scale essentially.
Love it. Well, gentlemen, really appreciate your time today. So great to talk to all of you. Omer, wish we could have heard your voice, but maybe next time.
Yeah, thank you for this time too. We appreciate it.
Really appreciate like the questions and just like all of your like warm welcomes and love. Really appreciate you.
Yeah, super glad to have you guys. If someone wanted to learn more about Concave, where would they go?
Concave.law.
So Concave.law, we have like our Git book. You feel free to join our Discord. We always have helpful people there that can help you get settled. So yeah.
Love it. Awesome. Gentlemen, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, and looking forward to seed investments, staking, and bonding coming soon, TM.
Let's go.
Yes. It'll be the first to know.
Let's go.
Love it. All right. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thanks for your time, guys.
Bye.
Take care.